Ever since I saw Batman v Superman in the theater, I've hated it. And now we're going to watch Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Edition, which is like the excellent version, 10 minutes at a time to see how it really is. With me, as always, is my best buddy in the whole wide world, Bob. You ready for part 7?
Let's do this.
Now, before we start, I think I was off by a minute last time. I'm not going to recap it. Lois went to the bathroom with the senator. Everybody good on that? All right.
Yep.
Let's dig in. And for official people who want to like time our stuff with the movie, you can. 1 hour, 1 minute, and 1 second is where I'm starting my watch today. Now, Perry is upset there's a lack of reporting on sports and the book gala hosted by Lex, and Clark was supposed to cover it, but he went batty. Eh?
Ha!
You got.
That was good.
It's an elbow slapper. You got to make your own humor when you can. Now, remember, kids, if you don't know what an elbow slapper is, we will explain that in a special. Now, Clark is saying that the press should help people, and Perry is saying Clark is old-fashioned in a really roundabout way. He's saying it's not 1938. And I'm like, that sounds like
that sounds like an interesting year.
Yeah.
Why do you choose 38? Huh?
A quick check on Superman in 1938. That's the year Superman was introduced.
Yep. Wow, look at that.
Big
Easter egg.
Big brain on the Batman v Superman. So now we got Perry saying, quote, nobody cares about Clark Kent taking on the Batman. And Clark looks resigned in the corner. And now at this point, I go, listen, movie, don't tell us this an hour into your movie. I am caring less. But you should not say out loud. Nobody wants to see Clark take on the Batman. The movie's called Batman v Superman. I know it's not Clark, but we know who he is.
We know, yes. You're pretty much telling us to stop watching, so leave.
Don't say that kind of stuff during the movie. Yeah. All right? I know you got my money, but geez, you got some temerity. Next scene. We're headed to some kind of ball of some kind, and on TV, Jon Stewart. Now, this is Jon Stewart, the host of The Daily Show, not Jon Stewart, the Green Lantern. He's talking about Superman and the United States and how their relationship works. And now we cut to an older guy who has a glass of like champagne or something. He goes up to a woman. He says, first thing he says to her is, I wonder. And then we get introduced to the character who will be Wonder Woman.
Another one. Wow.
So the old guy's talking to Gal, who still hasn't talked or been officially introduced, and it turns out we're some kind of art shindig. He has the Sword of Alexander. We're an hour and 2 minutes into the movie, and Gal gets a line, albeit off camera. Her line is, yes, thank you. Well done. So she looks at the blade, and Bruce Wayne comes by and he says he knows it's a fake, and Gal knows this. She's still not named, by the way. That's pretty slick. She says, excuse me, but Bruce Wayne grabs her by the arm subtly. He explains that she stole from him. Bruce Wayne wants to know who she is, and she says she's interested in the same man Bruce is. And Gal wants a photograph from Lex. Okay. She could not get that photograph because of the encryption on the drive. So when Bruce copied everything from the servers, he was copying everything as it was. It wasn't encrypted. Sorry, it wasn't decrypted yet. So Bruce is talking about Gal's dress a bit. He's kind of flirty, a little stalkery, a little bit intimidating. And Gal explains that she doubts that Bruce Wayne knows a woman like her. Look, movie, we get it. She's on the fucking posters. She's in the trailers.
Yeah, we know who she is.
Yeah, we know who she is and who she's going to be. Yeah. So I don't know why we're doing this.
Yeah.
So Gal explains she didn't steal the drive, and she borrowed it, the drive itself, or the little copying devices in the glove box, and she says, Mr. Wayne, as she walks away, and that's the end of that. Bruce has his encrypted drive, and we're at the Bat Cave. With my typo, it says decryptin time. Not decryption time, but I like decryptin time. So I'm gonna
decryptin time.
It's decryptin time.
Yo.
So we go to black, and now Batman is leaving a bunker. We started with Bruce, and now we have Batman. He's leaving a bunker. He steps out, and then there's like a destroyed city that he's seeing, and there's a huge Omega mark on the ground, and a school bus is coming, but there are kids not inside. There's actually people with guns inside with this boarded up bus. It's really dusty wherever we are, and Batman walks...
a little Mad Max Road Warrior kind of feel to it.
Yeah, or like Breaking Bad, just dusty, sandy, deserty. So Bruce walks into a base, or maybe it's actually the first scene, where they actually go and they meet, not the first scene, where they actually are at that military base. It might be the base being reused. Anyway, I'm going to cut that part out because I'm just losing it at the idea that they reused the base. It's like, save some money to shoot.
Yeah.
Okay. School bus people. Okay. It's very dusty. Breaking Bad was the joke. All right. So Batman walks into this base and he walks towards the truck and somebody opens the truck for him. Batman asks, has the rock been acquired? And they say, yep. So Batman walks to the box, which is in the truck, and they open up the box and it's just 2 green lights. Sucker. It's a trap. So a bunch of people take off their coats and they look like they have little Superman tags on them, and they're the ones who set him up. Superman's thugs set him up, not a phrase usually used here. So Batman's people are being gunned down by the Supermen, and Bats yells no. And then we see Batman using guns. And now that's screwy. Seeing Batman shooting a firearm is always weird. Even they go, well, it's an ice cannon. It's this. No, this is a gun.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'd just like to note this is the most action we've seen in an hour.
True. This fight is also not as great as the bat on the ceiling thing. It's a little bit more stilted. But to be fair to this movie, it's in an open area where Batman is fully visible. So this should be a totally different kind of fight. Because he doesn't have the cover of darkness. He's out there, and they can see him, and they've already targeted him. So Batman is still trying to save people along the way. So he's fighting off these people, and he's still trying to save his own. Parademons show up, and eventually Batman is overpowered using the one strategy that is always forgotten about in every action movie we've ever seen. Attack him at once. All of us.
Tons of people at once. It's a first. You never see it.
Gang pile on him. Dog pile. Do it. And it works. So we kind of go to black, and Batman wakes up. It's still Batman. He's chained to something with his arms, and Superman is here. It's like, oh, great. He's going to be saved. He's out of focus at first, and he's walking from the dark to Batman, and Superman looks pretty scary. And as he's walking towards Batman, he decides to kill 2 people with his heat rays while walking to Batman. I don't remember that scene where he kills 2 other people in the original cut. Do you?
I don't either. No.
I
do remember him looking really angry.
Yeah, so that definitely tells you that this Superman is not happy. So Superman pulls off Batman's mask, and Superman is pretty ticked, like I mentioned, and Superman says, "She was my world, and you took her from me." Not in that tone. Sounded a little bit differently. He touches Bruce's heart and seemingly grabs in, and then Bruce seemingly wakes up from some kind of dream. Maybe that's what that was, and is being yelled at by what should be the Flash. "Lois is the key," he says. "You were right about him." Now Barry wonders, or whichever Flash this is, wonders if he's too soon, which hints at time travel, because if you know anything about a Flash, you know him and screwing up time travel is like his thing. So,
all the time.
So then Bruce wakes up again. So the thing is, we're kind of left with, we don't know what happened officially. Did Bruce dream this scenario where they're in this Mad Max world or not? What was that Flash thing? I don't know. But that actually officially ends the 10 minutes. It's Bruce waking up. What did you think?
I thought it was an interesting 10 minutes. Like I've said before, Gal does a great job. That point where he grabs her arm and she looks at him, in that look, she does a really good job saying, "I could end you right this second," but she doesn't. So she doesn't say many words, but she does it with facial features. But they were a little heavy-handed with all the, like you said, imagery and, bad Superman and everything, and then very confusing with the dream. But it was cool seeing Batman in a hardened state, whatever it was a cool dream sequence to create. It was good to see some fighting finally. Like the rest of the movie so far.
I think this was not hard to watch. I would say this is about a 3 out of 5 on our scale. It's moving along just fine. We've got some building going on.
The best part of it, no Lex.
True. I didn't even think about it. The thing is, you don't realize how much you don't miss him until he's... Yeah. Well, not on the screen. So I think that's going to do it for us. We're going to get to part 8 coming up, because this installment is less time than the 10 minutes we were watching. So we're going to try to keep this the same amount of time. So coming up is part 8 very soon. Adieu. 3.